Hey guys, I have a really stupid story for you. This one is based on the furry community, which I don't know too much about. I've never been to a furry convention. Most of what I'm familiar with is personal experiences, but after I looked up what this guy did, I had to share it. Most of my research was done through Twitter, Facebook, Google, not much was found on YouTube. I think Mr. Meadowcur had the best review of this, but he doesn't like to use YouTube. So bear with me. In late August back in 2019, James Farnsworth, or Pretzelz Collie, made the dumbest decision of his life, and became disabled. This is the following story of how retarded someone can be. I'm not going to mention his ugly boyfriend's name, because he can be replaced with anyone. His boyfriend did slip up. At one point he locked his Twitter account, but I missed what was said. Anyhow. It was a typical summer night, nothing out of the ordinary was going on, so he decided to continue his hobby of playing with dried ice. I was suspicious of his activity, when he claimed he fell asleep, because I've played with dried ice before, and you can't fall asleep when that shit touches you. He used the excuses that he had arthritis, from riding bikes, but that's bullshit. Now he has no hands, but let me explain how I knew he lied to begin with. First of all, he was in the BIID community on Facebook. That's an amputee community of Facebook, but he joined the group before his hands were amputated. When you think about it, how would anyone know the results before they ever happened? Everything he says after this point is obviously staged, so I don't have sympathy for him. The other problem is his shitty job. He worked cashier at Chevron, that doesn't support shit. All jokes aside, he wasn't a manager, he was a night shift worker. That's a job for high schoolers, and people who don't speak English. Also, dried ice has never been used for treating arthritis, but it was used for amputation, like when people do backyard surgeries. I never heard of anyone who used dried ice for treating arthritis. Now when he said this, it was also when he mentioned that his father was an asshole. That image of him kissing his ugly boyfriend, in the hospital, was his excuse to come out of the closet. I thought to myself, his dad really cared enough about him, that he drove all the way from his house in Arizona, to see his son in a hospital in California, when he lived in Nevada. Pretzelz used his situation, that resulted in losing his hands, to tell his dad he was gay. Now that sounds retarded. His dad never cared about his son's sexuality, he cared if he was dead or alive. For him to kiss on his ugly boyfriend in the emergency room, was not only inappropriate, but very selfish. Plus we're neglecting that he was airlifted from an ER, using actual taxpayers' money, to get his hands amputated. Don't neglect that GoFundMe account he made, all that money went directly to his pockets, because his actual bill was covered, because he's disabled. That's right, he never paid a dime. The moment he was scheduled to have his hands amputated, doctors had him sign paperwork to have all of his medical bills covered. When he said it was a bilateral amputation, I knew he was already disabled, because that's what they diagnosed him with. If you were following him on Twitter, he uploaded a video of him using his mouth to type with his phone, like he expected all of this to happen. He made a few videos, and currently he's making videos of him riding a bicycle, because that's why his hands hurt. But now he doesn't have hands, so it really makes you think. The rest are him, poking his stubs at old cars and trucks he bought. He didn't put much thought into this. With the GoFundMe account, it was all used to fund his flight, hotel costs, and his membership for Midwest Fur Fest. You can tell because he made that page with the exact same image he used for his Twitter account, but the sad part is people enabled him. People were leaving him messages of approval, because apparently when you're a useless hunk of shit, that's a good thing. My main concern was how he wipes his own ass. And if he has an itch, how the fuck does he scratch himself? Now he's a burden to anyone he's around, but that's okay, because he can pose with his retarded Anthrocon shirt on. It's not like anything he said doesn't add up. I'm expecting him to fund more bullshit, because after this quarantine is over, he'll want to go out and milk people for more money. The guy is a scumbag. Of course. It's not like I've done my research on this guy, I probably don't even know his real name. I do know he's getting maximum disability, his ugly boyfriend is getting paid as his personal caregiver. None of which can pay the bills, to live in a house, so how he's buying stupid shit is none of my business. To sum this all up, an idiot willingly had his hands amputated, and the sad part is, people supported his dumb ass. None of this should be remotely acceptable, and it's why people say furries are retarded. He also filmed himself doing some gay shit. Thanks for viewing, feel free to leave a comment. I'm likely going to make a few new videos, so expect some in the future. Take care.